Hello guys, welcome to another video. In this video we're gonna review Canon 1200D. This is how it looks like, and I think in America they call this Canon T5 or Canon Rebel T5 or whatever you call it. So this is basically an entry-level camera. This was launched in 2014, so it's a 7-year-old camera. And then before this we had a Canon 1100D, which was a 12 megapixel camera, and then this was 18 megapixel, and then we had a Canon 1300D, which is also 18 megapixel. And ISO wise, this goes from 100 up to 6400 with a boost up to 12,500. So the ISO range is pretty solid. And if you are having like a prime lens, like the one I have right now is a pancake lens. It's a 40 mm f 2.8 pancake lens. You can see how tiny it is, and the maximum aperture is like 2.8, so you can get decent amount of light with this, and you can get very clean image at lower ISO with this, and you get a very light setup. It looks so small and so lightweight. You can just put it in your jacket and small bag and just go anywhere and start shooting. So talking about the technical specification, 18 megapixel, ISO 100 to 6400, dynamic range is around 11.5 something, launched in 2014, and nothing is spectacular about this camera. It looks like this, like any typical Canon camera. From the top it looks like this, and on this side it doesn't have anything. Usually we have like a SD card slot over here. On this side you can actually connect the HDMI, and they have this USB port as well to connect to the laptop, but it doesn't have any mic input, so it's not a ideal camera in case you want to record good audio with video. You cannot connect any microphone on this. And another bad part about this is that the SD card goes in here in the battery compartment. So if you have this mounted on a tripod, it can be tricky to pop out the SD card while you have it mounted on the tripod. If it was over here, then it would be slightly easier and much better solution. But talking about the good thing about this, the image quality is really good, guys. I'm gonna share the photos that I have taken with this camera and with this lens, so you're gonna get like a good overview and review both of the camera and also of the lens. So check it out. So right now you can see on your screen the photos that I have taken with this camera. So background blur I got with this lens was very good. The sharpness was very good, and 18 megapixel sensor, really good color captures, and the contrast and everything looks really nice. I was really impressed with the image quality that you can get with this lightweight camera. It's I think 400 or 70 or 80 grams, and with this lens setup maybe it would be 550 gram or something, including the battery and this, which is a very lightweight setup and very travel friendly. And if you talk about the bad things about this camera, of course the battery compartment has the SD card. That is one bad part about this. And the other thing is that the video control over here. So if you want to record video, you have to move this dial to the video just like you do in Canon 550, 600 and other camera. But you have to also go into the menu to change the movie control to manual. Only then you would be able to play around with the aperture, shutter speed and ISO and those kind of things. And even after you have done that, you still have limited control, guys. So if you have already started recording the video, then you cannot actually autofocus while the video is being recorded. You have to first autofocus somewhere and then you start recording the video. Once the video is started, you cannot actually autofocus. There is one mode in which you can do that, but then it uses the mirror, the viewfinder to find the focus. So there would be a mirror slap sound flipping up and down, and which could be very annoying, so which is not that useful and usable in the video. So I would say this if you want to record video using this camera, either you just fix the focus before you start recording the video, then or if you don't mind using the manual focus, then you can just switch the lens to manual focus, and then you focus using the manual focus ring. Another good thing about this camera is that it does have this live view. So using the live view, you can use manual focus lens. You can put the lenses and then you can see this screen, and you can use this zoom in zoom out button, and then using the focus ring you can manually focus stuff. For example, you can, I'm so zoomed in now, and you can actually see my beard. So that's how you can manually focus. So it's a big advantage to have live view, because Canon 1000D, which is a really old camera, and Canon 400D and 450D, even though they take photos, they don't have the live view. So even though it is not like the perfect best camera for making video, but still having the live view helps you a lot. So now I'm gonna share some of the video footage that I have taken with this camera and with this lens, so you can now see on your screen. This is how the video from this camera is gonna look like. So right now I use the autofocus functionality for autofocusing on this tree, and you can see the tree is very much in focus right now, and everything looks so nicely blurred out. But now if I try to autofocus, let's say on that sign, I cannot. So that's one limitation that I see with this. But what you can do is like there is one more different autofocus mode that you can do, but then the problem is that it relies on switching, flipping the mirror up and down, and which is not that good. And right now it's windy, so you can notice the windy noise with this. So let's say if I want to autofocus there, focus there, I have to move it to manual. So now it's in manual. See, I am manually rotating the focus ring, and then I can get whatever I want in focus. So basically this camera is pretty good if you want to just shoot using manual exposure and focusing. Then it's pretty good. But if you are trying to rely on autofocus, then it's not that great, guys. And if you talk about the image quality from this camera, I think it's really awesome. The pictures are really good, and even the video sample looks really nice. Only the autofocus is some kind of an issue. Okay guys, now the final conclusion, whether this camera is still good enough to buy in 2021 or not. Well, I would say if you are primarily into photography, if you are a beginner, then this camera is actually really very awesome. It's a lightweight camera, and photography wise pretty much you can do everything. One thing that you cannot do is like connecting off camera flash and exposure bracketing, but as a beginner you don't use them so often, so it's a kind of a luxury. This doesn't have Wi-Fi, so if you want to transfer image you have to put the SD card in your computer. Canon 1300D has a Wi-Fi, so that's one benefit, but other than those features, these two cameras are pretty much identical. And talking about the price point, you can get this camera for maybe $130 or $120 used with the kit lens, so which is a very good deal to get started into professional photography using DSLR. So still in 2021, if you are primarily into photography, this is a great beginner camera to start with. Compared to 1100D, which is like 12 megapixel, this has 18 megapixel, much higher megapixel, and very cheap to get, because the price point is very cheap for this in second hand. So you can get this and just get started. But yeah, of course, like if you are into videography as well, you are doing like some serious work, like some professional work, or if you are getting paid for the videography, then this camera can be very frustrating for you to use. Instead of this camera, then maybe you should go for Canon 800D or Canon 200D or Canon 70D or 80D DSLRs, because they have this dual pixel autofocus technology, which is the best autofocus system in the market, and it really helps you in making the videos. So that would be a better choice compared to this camera for serious videographer. But if you are a casual videographer, like you do these kind of like talking head kind of video, you sit on a chair and you just talk about something, or if you are making like a guitar cover like I do, so you can just fix the focus. You can put it on tripod and you pre-focus it where you want to sit, and then you start the record button and you make the videos, because the footage that you get with the video from this camera is still very good, and with a 50 mm lens or some other nice lens you can get really very nice blurry background in the video as well. But the only bad part is the autofocus. You cannot use the autofocus so well with this camera. But if you don't mind using manual focus, you can actually get great results in video cinematography as well with this camera. And of course this doesn't have a flip out screen and it's not a touch screen, but that's not that big of a problem. Like even if you are having a touch screen, most of the time you are using these menus to navigate. But yeah, of course the touch screen helps a lot when you just press to focus. But yeah, in 120 US dollar you can't get anything better than this camera in the market. Okay guys, I hope you like my video. Please subscribe to the channel. I have a lot of other reviews of other Canon and Nikon cameras as well, of the old used gear as well, and you can follow me on Instagram as well. If you have any question, you can just directly reach out to me on Instagram or put it in the comment over here. And do please subscribe to the channel and share the video as well. Press the like button and yeah, press the bell icon, because it will motivate me a lot to work harder and make much nicer videos and bring more nicer content for you guys. So see you in the next video guys with a new camera.